Hi guys, and welcome to Neeks Sports. This is your match day 9 review. So, big day in the World Cup. A big shock happened today in the World Cup. Maybe not as big as most people think, but actually it's pretty big. The Super Eagles soar on ahead. Nigeria defeat Iceland. Argentina have caught a lease of life. Wow, they needed Nigeria to win today to stay with a chance of going through in this World Cup, and boy did they win. Ahmed Musa, Leicester player who went on loan to CSK Moscow last year, full of pace, full of energy, and he destroyed that defence of Iceland today. Came in with Iniacho today. Iwobi dropped to the bench and he was on fire, literally like running ragged around that defence all afternoon, causing problems to the Iceland defence. They didn't know where to turn. He was left, right, he was there, he was chasing down every loose ball, and he fully deserved the 2 goals he scored today. The first one was a brilliant run from Victor Moses coming down the right wing, getting a cross in, a brilliant first touch from Ahmed Musa, and a great finish into the corner. One of the goals of the World Cup, maybe not go down as the best, but definitely one of them, and definitely what Nigeria deserved to go in head at 1-0 down, 1-0. And then the second goal, again, counter-attack, again, just pure pace from Ahmed Musa, just coming in, cutting it around the goalkeeper and slotting it into the empty net. Having the composure as well. There was a player calling for the ball, I think it might have been Iniacho, someone was beside him calling for the ball, but he ignored them all and just stuck it in. And that pretty much wrapped up the game for Nigeria, the 2-0 victory. There was one little bit of controversy towards the end of the game though. Iceland were awarded a penalty after the referee checked VAR. Correct decision, Nigeria defender fouled the Iceland striker as he went into the area just as his ball was going out. He got clipped, and a definite penalty. Great decision by the VAR. And Sigurdsson, usually a calm, cool, collected player. We know him from the Premier League. Probably one of the only players we do know in the Iceland team. Clearly their best player. Stepped up with a little short run up, and he blazed it over the bar. It was a terrible, terrible penalty from Sigurdsson, from a guy that we know very well. We've seen him week in, week out, put those away. Simple penalty from 12 yards. He didn't have the composure when he needed it. But I think, Nigeria deserved to have a clean sheet. The goalkeeper and defence did really well to just keep Iceland at bay. Didn't create many chances, and they deserved the victory. Then it turned to the group of Brazil. And after Brazil's 1-1 draw with Switzerland in the first round of games, they needed to really get something against Costa Rica. And boy, did they leave it late. It was pretty much a Brazil show from start to end. They had chances, they dominated possession, they sort of got towards the box and tested Navas on a number of occasions. But in the end, Costa Rica's defence sort of broke out in the 91st minute when Coutinho slotted in a goal, as he normally does, coming in on the run. Great knockdown from Firmino, little touch from Jesus, and slotted in from Coutinho. A typical Coutinho finish, running in. We've seen him do it loads of times for Liverpool and Barcelona. It wasn't outside of the area goal, it was a nicely cool finish though. Just when you needed someone to do it, he looked like he was going to take the headlines. But I think the headlines probably going to go to Neymar again in this game. Maybe not for the right reasons. He did get his goal at the end to make it 2-0. A great run into the area. Brazil sort of dominated the last sort of 6 minutes of injury time really. It was all Brazil creating chances. And a great little ball from Douglas Costa to give it to Neymar, and he slotted it into an empty net. But I think what may be the talking point for Neymar is that horrendous dive that he did. Yeah, we all saw it. He was going for the ball, cut in the area, chopped back on the defender. The defender put his hand out to try and stop him going, kind of pulled his hand back, so it looked like he was going to pull him down and pull his hand back. And when you initially see it, you might think, oh, it's a penalty. The referee thought it was a penalty. He pointed to the spot, he thought it was a penalty, and made up his mind. And then VAR called him back and said, ref, have a look at this decision. I don't think you got it correct. He checked it and he saw there was barely a touch on Neymar. A hand came out to try and stop him, got pulled away. Neymar went down in theatrics like a dive, and the free kick was given against Neymar, and it was a Costa Rica ball. Why Neymar was not booked for diving, I don't know. It seemed like Neymar and the referee had a bit of a tiff all game really. Neymar wasn't happy about some of the decisions in the first half. He was getting kicked about all over the place. Referee not issuing yellow cards, just giving free kicks, but not really controlling the game from Neymar's point of view. And the second half, Neymar started to lose his head. Obviously, he wasn't awarded the penalty. Again, getting kicked about. He punched the ball in frustration. He got booked for that as well. But in the end, Neymar done what we know Neymar can do. Put the ball in the back of the net. Little bit of a skill by the corner flag as well, just to embarrass the Costa Rica defence a little bit more than he did. And at the end of the game, he just broke down in tears because I think he was relieved that actually they got away with it. They got the points today, and it was a close fought game. The other game in that group as well was Serbia against Switzerland. And obviously, having seen Brazil win 2-0 earlier in the day against Costa Rica, Serbia knew a win for them would take them through into the last 16, having beaten Costa Rica on their first game 1-0 with that Kolarov free kick. An end-to-end game, a very, very good game. Probably a game of the day in terms of both teams wanting to win it. Both teams very evenly matched, I'd say, in terms of players, in terms of the team. Quite a few of the Switzerland players originally, from Serbia, from Albania, like immigrants from Kosovo, and so there's a lot of heated rivalry between the two teams, and it showed in the game. It was feisty. Mitrovic was feisty in that game, and he got off to a great start with Mitrovic getting the goal, knowing what he can do. We've seen him in the Premier League do it on a number of occasions. He's done it for Fulham this year as well, getting him back up to the Premier League, and he got in there with a brilliant header across from the right wing. I believe it was Tadic with the cross, and Mitrovic rose well, headed it into the back of the net. 1-0 Serbia, and they went into half time like that, just dominating the game really. Switzerland never really got hold of it, but I'll tell you what, in the second half they came back out and they meant business. They started very well, high pace, just pushing up against Serbia. Serbia didn't really know how to handle it really, and it fell to my man, Granit Xhaka. What a goal. Ball sort of came off, ricocheted in the area, sort of was rolled out, and Xhaka came onto it on his left foot, ball curling, and he just curled it straight into the corner. Keeper maybe have done a little bit better, but it came through a whole heap of bodies. And Granit Xhaka, we've seen him in the Premier League. We know what he can do. We know he's got that ability in him, and boy did he show it. Brilliant goal from Xhaka, and that really set Switzerland, should I say, on their way. And again, it was end-to-end, feisty. Shaqiri had a couple of pops, a brilliant left-footed shot just hit at the sort of edge of the post and crossbar. And then a decision which baffled me really. Mitrovic was sort of manhandled in the area by two Switzerland defenders, and the referee didn't even bat an eyelid. It was clear to me that he was. In fact, he gave the foul against Mitrovic. I don't see how. He was bullied to the floor by two players. Surely for me, this is where VAR has to come in and say, actually, that's a penalty kick and it should have been a Serbian penalty kick. In my opinion, it wasn't given. Play continued, and Serbia continued to press. And as they did, they left gaps at the back, and Switzerland exploited that. It was a brilliant ball from the middle of the park, straight through to Shaqiri. I don't know what the defender was doing, trying to play Shaqiri offside. He sort of stepped up, realised that he wasn't offside, and tried to chase back. In the end, it was too late. Xherdan Shaqiri running through, one-on-one with the goalkeeper. We've seen it so many times in the Premier League for Stoke, and he done it again, one-on-one, slotted it away, and they went nuts. Celebrations wild, all the Switzerland players just going crazy. They knew this was a massive win for Switzerland. Puts them level on points with Brazil now after their earlier win, and really sets them in a good stead going into that last game against Costa Rica, knowing that if they win that, they're through to the knockout stages. Obviously, they've still got a bit to do. They may even finish top of the group, providing on their goal difference. If they can get a healthy win against Costa Rica, Switzerland may just pick Brazil to the top of the group. But that group is all ends up. Obviously, Brazil at the top on 4, +2 goal difference. Switzerland second, +1. And then Serbia, of course, they won their first game, so they'll be on 3 points. 1 point below Switzerland and Brazil, and it's a big game. If Serbia can cause an upset against Brazil may end up out of the competition. But as it stands, Brazil sit top of that group, and it's looking feisty going into the next set of games. Make sure you check out all of our other videos. We've got some more action coming soon for you tomorrow as well.